Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Games Industry Executive Summary. This is Casey, and with us, of course, we have the dashing Dave Fear.
That's me.
We don't know where Manu is. He kind of what is it called? Is it K? Not KIA.
No,
MIA?
not K. MIA.
MIA.
MIA. Hopefully not KIA.
Yes.
I guess he's off analyzing things.
I'm
as he
sorry. I'm
tends
trying to
do.
get my acronyms in order.
Yeah.
The American lingo. Dave, what are you up to these days? Have you had the chance to look at Clair Obscur, the only
I
RPG
have.
that matters these days?
Yeah, that's what matters. And you know what? I have some thoughts.
Okay, hit
Yeah.
me.
Okay, cool. My first thought is that it's good. So that's crucial. That's the foundation of the other thoughts. And then I think for me it has really put to bed the age-old debate: is JRPG a genre, or is it an acronym for Japanese RPG? And I think that it is really difficult to argue that this game is not a JRPG. It's JRPG, and yet it is not Japanese. And it not only is it not Japanese, it is highly French. So I think that is really that's where I'm coming down on that debate now. JRPG is a genre of games which are primarily produced in Japan, but not exclusively, including this one produced in France.
My takeaway is I'm with you, Dave. It's good. It's really good. And I'm having a hard time trying to kind of nail down what it is that is special about this game versus your, and I don't want to call it the average JRPG. Maybe we should have a new acronym for this, FRPG.
FRPG, yeah.
F for the French, of course.
Je suis RPG.
Yes. But well, for you, okay, so if I ask you this, for you, what is the things that are that is sticking out? What is it that makes you think go this is what I am what I feel is special about it?
So it does a really good job in narrative pacing, which is a real struggle of this genre overall. It puts you right into it. It doesn't do lore dumps. It unveils things slowly. It has some really compelling characters and some great visual design. It trims a lot of the fat out of a genre that is known for its fat, and it moves in a really unexpected way. And that also that comes into play with the parry system and all that as well, where it's moving, it's active, and you don't feel like you're wasting your time.
You're engaged, and
yeah, exactly.
In the combat.
Visuals are incredible.
Yeah,
and it has a really unified sense of itself and unified sense of aesthetics and style. I think that I would connect the success of this to like the success of the Yakuza games in the West.
Yep.
That I think for a long time, video games are sort of the first natively international industry. It's always been international. And for a long time, we sort of developed this kind of stateless aesthetic where everyone was making things that looked very similar, and you could call it stateless, or you could call it sort of all these kind of manifestations of American cultural imperialism.
Yeah.
And now I think that people are becoming more interested in things that have distinct identity. And in this case as well, something like Yakuza, it's a distinct national cultural identity, and you feel that, and that's important to who they are. And I think I like that. I think that's fun. And I think it's not really a coincidence that we're seeing this as sort of American power is waning. And I love it. I want to see more plays. Because originally this game, their first pitch or the first thing they were working on was based in Victorian England, which is a very that's another very kind of international setting. You could make a Victorian England game. People know about it. People make it. And instead they took it back and they made something that was very much that I feel like only they could have made, and that's what makes it work.
Closer to home.
Yeah.
And you know what? This I think what you just said, it feels like it's almost is Rockstar an English studio originally? Scottish.
Yeah.
Obviously, those people made games that took place in the U.S.
Yeah, and I think that the GTA series is like the best example of like the stateless creations of American cultural thing. Like I definitely had the argument with people who are like, oh, like the GTA is such a like this is such an indictment of or not indictment of America. They would say like look at this example of American culture with GTA, and I'm
Exactly.
like, well, Scottish culture for one thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's not forget about that. And yeah, it's stateless, but it's based in America, and it kind of flows out of that.
Exactly. The American, and especially with the latest trailers that we saw, the Americanism in these,
Yeah,
in that, or their culture.
and yeah, those games are very much about
Yeah.
America.
Yeah.
Definitely. I do find it funny that these they're great at making these expansive, incredibly engaging open worlds, and yet they really can only do these 3 cities apparently.
Of course. But just going back to Claire, then I feel like that's the point here, is that they based it on something very close to home. And if we talk about Japanese developers, I mean, they make games for themselves, and they make games based on their own culture and country, and like, the environments that you see in the games are based on that. And I think that's what kind of like, if it's the Persona series, if it's the I'm gonna try the Yakuza series, I feel like these are elements that make them successful, because they are just genuine to where they come from. They understand it, and they have a really good way of explaining it to others. Or maybe it transcends. I don't know how it transcends to other cultures, but we just enjoy it.
Yeah, and people recognize something that needs to be itself. A Scottish studio could not make a Yakuza game. It would be really weird.
I'm sure.
Valheim was kind of like that.
Yeah.
Valheim's a Swedish studio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very like a lot of people have made Viking games, right? Ubisoft made a Viking game, but for them that identity was much more closely held, and I think much better realized.
Have you played Unravel?
A long time ago.
I don't
remember it that well, but yeah.
If you remember the presentation, the first time they revealed and showed that game, they had the game director, and I forgot his name now. But what's interesting about that, as an example, as yet an example of a studio that is in the very top north of Sweden, and they made the game of Unravel in their own culture and environment. So the woods, the flowers you see, what the creatures you see in the game come from that environment, and that's probably why it felt genuine to so many people. Gameplay wise, with Clair Obscur, I think that is also a major takeaway here, that the RPG mechanics, the fighting mechanics, or the what are they called again? The when you have the time based
the parry and dodge mechanics.
Yeah, but I was thinking more of the time. Are they called
active battle?
Not active battle. When it's your time and then you wait for the enemy to attack.
Oh, turn-based.
Turn-based. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. The turn-based fighting mechanics make you actively be part of it, instead of just like, oh, okay, I choose this thing, I wait for my turn, I choose that thing, and so on. Here,
and there's the free aiming as well.
Absolutely. You're actively playing the game, and the skill of timing it felt like a Guitar Hero at some points as well.
Oh yeah, parry games are definitely like rhythm games in disguise, like always. And I think that holds true for a lot of Souls-likes.
Yep.
But it's just even more so with a parry game.
And I chose the easiest setting, and it's still challenging.
Maybe I should turn mine down a little bit, because I want to parry everything, and I am not doing so.
Yeah, well, there you go then. How far have you reached Act 2?
No, I have not.
Okay, so I won't spoil anything. And I'm not sure. I'll just leave you with this, which is, because you don't know when it's going to happen. But before Act 2, there's something huge that happens. And I think it's shocking. I'm not sure if it's going to stay that way for the entire of the game. But if it does, I was like, holy shit, okay, that's very early. in doing that thing. So I'll
I think it
leave it.
might be the thing that I'm so annoyed got spoiled to me. Because like I was just like, I don't know, I was just like trying to find the trailer or some shit. I can't remember what I was looking for. And I just like typed Clair Obscur into YouTube, and I got a whole bunch of things about Goot. Well, I shouldn't even say that.
Oh, so you know
Yeah,
about it?
I know. Yeah, which I'm so annoyed by because like,
Wow. Okay.
come on, YouTubers, stop it.
Yeah.
So, but luckily, you know, I'm still excited to see it.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I'm pretty immune to spoilers overall.
I know this is becoming almost like a Clair Obscur episode, but I think I can't stop talking about it. And obviously, we're looking at it on screen at the same time. Story. Do you feel like it's? I feel like it's. This is the first time. Like it's an original. I feel like it's unique. It's a bit different. Um, and then there's another thing, an element in the beginning, or I started thinking about it more and more, which is it's a almost a dominated female cast.
Yeah, that's
But
definitely true.
but it's not one of those cases where like they go, hey, look, we have females in our game. It's just like it's just part of the story, part of the world,
Yeah.
and they don't make it like they're not virtue signaling, which I really like.
Yeah, well, it's always, you know, I feel like that's always sort of the core of what people are talking about when they talk about the Bechdel test. You know that? The Bechdel
No,
test.
tell me.
It's like from an old, like, lesbian cartoonist who has an episode where the two characters are talking. And she says that she only wants to watch a movie where there are two women who talk about something besides a man.
Okay.
And I feel like that's sort of you're talking about a similar thing where it's like their roles and the characters are in the story are not either defined in relationship to a man or defined by their gender.
Exactly.
Story.
Exactly. But what about the entire idea of this painteress and the tree and your like the destination? I feel like that you touched a bit about it in the beginning in the form of I feel like talked about trimming the fat, right? It's like it's really clear what the goal is. It's really clear what the journey is. We're going on this journey together to do this thing. And as you travel, there is more and more that get revealed, which I feel like is amazing.
Yeah. And it makes sense, you know. You're learning it alongside the characters. They've never been to these parts of the world either, and it just works so well from that perspective. And again, it's very JRPG, right? You're going to go. Your goal is to go kill a god.
Yes, I got a lot of feelings from Chrono Trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Like very early on, hey, stupid, here is the thing. And speaking of stupid, there is no. Have you noticed there's no HUD when you're traversing the world?
I guess I haven't. Yeah.
There is no go here, do that.
Oh, that yeah, certainly.
Right?
Yeah, there's no quest markers or anything like that. And you don't miss them because again, the game is very lean, so you know where you're supposed to go.
I want to almost pull up. Do you remember Final Fantasy 14?
I do.
Did you play it?
Wait, 14. 14 is the MMO.
Sorry?
14 is the MMO. 15?
No, is it 15?
Oh no, is it 14? No, yeah, no,
14,
I'm wrong.
14.
14 is the road trip one.
With the what's her name? Lightning, I believe her name is.
Oh no,
is it?
I thought you. Which one is 14?
I think we need to do some research here. God damn. But I guess what I was. Yes, sorry. I think it's 13.
13, yeah. 14 is the road trip one. 15 is the one that just came out. Yeah.
Which one is the MMO? No, 14 is the MMO,
12.
Right? 15 is the road trip.
15 is the road trip. So 16 just came out?
Give me a second.
Yeah, 15 is the road trip. 16 just came out.
Yeah, 14 is the MMO. Sorry.
14 is the MMO. Yeah, okay. That's, yeah.
This is how bad it is. And I think that this is a testament to why we cannot remember these things.
Because we're not paying much attention.
Well, I think this is during the. It's like 13 and 15 is probably, and I don't know. I haven't played 16, so I can't judge that. But I feel like this is like the not the downfall necessary, but it's a it's a what is it called? Like, give me a what's the not the apex? What's the opposite of apex? I need English help here, man.
Nadir would be the opposite of Apex.
Okay, I want to show you this. Give me a second. Let me see if I can find it for you. But if you haven't played Final Fantasy 13, the first 10 hours of that game is basically, and I'm not sure if you remember this meme or this image. It's basically a straight corridor. 10 hours. Really, I'm not kidding.
That's a
10
lot.
pure hours of a straight corridor. And then there are two things. One of it is like, after the 10 hours, the world opens up. And that's something they were like, trying to defend. But also, the other thing is, during this entire corridor, you know how like, you're in this world, and then you see like you see that you can like maybe take a left turn or right turn, and then you take that turn, and then maybe there's a monster, you kill a monster, you get like, there's a chest or there's something there. In this corridor that I just showed you, you make a left turn, and there's nothing there. That's how bad it was. Now this was 10 years ago or more even. But I feel like this is an example of something that Clair Obscur said, no. If you're taking a detour, or if you're going, taking a left turn or whatever, we're going to reward you. You're going to find something cool.
You'll find some, and you'll also going to find pretty quick.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be very clear, like, this was a side path, you grab the thing, go back to main path.
With no UI.
Yeah.
With
definitely.
no UI.
Really, really well done.
There's only one thing I haven't figured out yet. Have you managed to change any wardrobe stuff?
I have not, but I'm pretty sure I saw the option in which to do so.
Okay, I think
it's like it's related to when you're leveling them up.
Okay,
it's around there.
Okay. Any final words on Clair Obscur Expedition 33?
Excited to get back to it.
Me too. I'm hoping it's not too long. I don't know how much.
I don't think it's supposed to be.
Okay. I don't know how much I've spent. I might have spent like, I would say, if I had to guess, maybe 12 hours. I don't know how many acts there are, but I'm hoping it's not going to overstay its welcome. Okay. Dave, should we
Let's do some
move
news.
into the
what
new
we got?
and discuss